Hello friends! So, Replit has released Agent 3, their newest coding agent that can work up to 200 minutes on a given task. We know there's a lot of hype in AI. So how does this claim pan out? I've been working 5 years coding projects and building apps, and I have to say I'm quite impressed. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 no bullshit reasons why you should really try the agent and consider Replit as your main platform, whether you are a vibe coder or someone who is really comfortable coding. So let's get to it. The first reason I really like Replit is they found a good balance on the UI side between um, hiding the detail when you don't need it, but giving you quick access to it when you really want to deep dive or when you want to solve the problem that you know how to fix yourself. You start a project like any of the vibe coding platforms with just the chat box. Here you can select a web app, a data app. You can also select themes, which is pretty neat, and you write your prompt. Then the wizard will give you a better prompt, and that's okay. But for me, it's when you are inside a project. I think they nailed the UI. So 1/3 on the left is for the agent, and honestly that's going to be 60, 70, 80% of your interactions are going to be with the agent, because they tend to do most of the tasks and execute them relatively well. So you're going to be mostly interacting with the agent. Then here you got the big pane where you see your project, and you can access anything you want on the tabs. You can access your database, you can access your integrations, auth, anything. You also have an assistant. That's basically a less powerful AI than the agent, and that's for if you really have small changes or if you have questions, you can just use assistant. And then, okay, if you are someone who is comfortable coding and go into the detail, you can just open up the tab here and you can dive into the details. For example, this is an automation project, and I just wanted to look at the structure of the steps, and then you can just see it all in code. So this is how applications are made. You know, that they are all code. So all the vibe coding platform they do is they just give you a different level of abstraction with their own UI. But if you never have access to the underlying, it's very difficult to really fix problems or customize something to your own needs. So I've been using, for example, N8N for automations. It's nice for standard things, but as soon as you start customizing things, it becomes a bit tricky. And I always wish I would just have access to the underlying code, because then I can just either fix it myself or use an AI and get to it. I've tried also Bolt and Lovable, and it's the same thing there, where they have one specific flow, maybe 2 flows of how you build things according to them. As soon as you start trying to do things differently, things just go into a never-ending loop of problems. The AI cannot solve it, and then for me to go in there and fix it, it's basically learning. Okay, how do the files, cooperate? How do they integrate and run on that platform? And it's difficult. With Replit, it's the same as if you had all those files on your local machine and you are using Cursor or VS Code. So I think they have really gotten the balance really good on the UI side, and it also favors learning. So you start probably your journey with just interacting with the agent, and then you've got the detail right there. You can get into it and start learning things. So that's a big point. The second one, I like the ability, really the safety nets, the ability to roll back even small changes. So this is a little app which I've been building with Agent 3, which basically converts any text you want into audio. We have audiobooks, we have podcasts, but there is nothing like where maybe you're reading a paper or a blog post and you're like, oh, I don't want to sit 20 minutes now at the screen. Maybe I want to do something and listen to it. And so I'm building an app where you can really convert any text you want into audio, and then chain it into a player that you can have on the go. And to give you an example of the amount of work that Agent 3 can do, Let me go back. So here you can go back to different chats. Let me take, I think, this one. Here we have here we have one with a big chunk of work. So we basically we implemented smart chunking of text. So after we parse the document, I wanted an AI to suggest which chunks of text from that document would be great. Like, is it a introduction? Is it like a summary, a key point? Basically, this is what you see here. Here is a summary, a key point, a conclusion, and it gives you 8 suggestions which you can then convert to audio and put in your queue. That was quite a lot of work. That was 26 minutes of work, and you can see about 1,000 lines added, 500 deleted, 1,500 lines read. All of that was for $5.7. It's really cost effective. But at every time that the agent does a chunk of work, you can just roll back. A rollback means you go back to the snapshot saved of all of your code and your database. So there is no risk of having mismatched data, and you can experiment freely. You can experiment with the agent. Okay, if after a few minutes it doesn't work out, you can just roll back and try something else. Even with small things like with the assistant, which I use for small edits. And this was a small edit for these smart suggestions, where initially the agent didn't give me a scroll bar to see all the elements. So I asked the assistant to try to put the scroll bar. It didn't do it correctly, and I just reverted. So then I just canceled that, and it's like, okay, I went again to the agent and said, just add the scroll bar so that we can see everything neatly. And yeah, it did the job. Then you see, then everything is visible. This safety net is really, really cool, because typically professional coders do that manually with Git. You have to get into the habit of doing it. Often you commit your changes, and then you can backtrack if you've done something wrong. And here it's implemented in the UI in every step. I think that's very, very useful for anyone trying to learn, trying to get better, and gives you basically a freedom of experimentation. And a really, really cool feature. And number 3, what I also like about Replit is its integrated one-click deployment. It's basically this publish button. Basically, it deploys the thing to internet, to your app to the internet in one go, and things just tend to work. Everything is set up so that they work. Oftentimes when I build apps and I try different deployment platforms, it can really be tricky. Like I remember trying a Cloudflare instead of Vercel, because Cloudflare is quite cheaper. And man, there were so many little niggles of the deployment, and suddenly your app is not working properly, and you have no idea. It's all infrastructure dependent. So you're like stuck, and you're like, you tear your hairs out because you build this thing, it works locally, and then you deploy and it's a complete mess. But Replit, it's already running in the cloud. Like, all that environment is already on a development URL. So all they do is just transfer that project to a public facing URL, and then you can add your domain. And so it makes things much easier. This is great for web apps, but now they're also deploying the ability to run any type of app in Golang, in Rust, and that will also live in the same type of mini containers that Replit has. So it's a big thing to just simplify things when you're ready to have customers or users. I think it's a big plus. So these were the 3 biggest things why I really like Replit and why I think you should try it. I'll leave a link below for you to try it. It's a referral link, so you get $10 of credits to try it out, and I also get $10 of credits just for openness. I think it's a win-win, and I think you really will like it. It's not the hype that we often see. It's really here. We have agents that can do a sizable chunk of work yeah, they're pretty effective. So try it out. Ask me questions if you have any. I can make more videos about the platform, about tricks, and let me know, yeah, what you think about it. If you've tried it, but maybe you didn't like it, just let me know in the comments. I'd love to see different perspectives. So thank you for watching. Take care.